Hey, what's like that good, bro? Oh, just look at, you ain't subscribed yet? Man, look at this guy, man. You ain't right, man. Press the button. Press the button.
Why this happened to us? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. That's an excellent question. So God says that if we didn't listen and if we didn't do his commandments, that we would be cursed as a nation of people. Who lives in the worst parts of the sea? Black folks. Now, when you say that, that's a curse? When you look at the majority of us, they put us in the ghettos, the slums, the hoods, the barrios. Even the clothes on your back, you have to get it from them. Now, you might have FUBU or something like that, but the raw textiles, like the material, the cotton and stuff, you got to get it from them.
That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee.
So when we come back to keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, then he's going to change our condition. All right. Do you have any questions? All right, I know we got. Why this happened to us? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Yes, sir.
That's an excellent question. Why are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in the condition that we're in? We're about to find out. Read what you got.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So was a curse a good or a bad thing? If I said, I'm going to curse you, am I going to do something good to you, or am I going to do something bad to you? Something bad, right? So God says that if we didn't listen and if we didn't do his commandments, that we would be cursed as a nation of people. So when you look at the condition or the state of our people, are we blessed? Are we blessed as a people? Huh? We are? Wait a minute. So when I look around the community, does our communities look like Bloomfield Hills? No, it doesn't, right? So when you examine it from that standpoint, are we a cursed people or a blessed people? Right, exactly. We're cursed. Now we're going to actually read more about these curses that we can only identify amongst ourselves. Read on.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
So one of the curses, he said that we would be cursed in the city. Who lives in the worst parts of the city? Black folks. Now, when you say that, that's a curse. When you look at the majority of us, they put us in the ghettos, the slums, the hoods, the barrios.
Bring it out.
We're cursed in the city.
That's right.
Even when you think about who has the worst health care, the worst education, who has the highest statistics in AIDS, STD, cancer, gout. Isn't that us? Isn't that a curse? It's crazy because nobody can seem to figure out why. There's a church on every corner.
Bring it out.
That's a curse.
That's right.
Why is there a church on every corner along with a liquor store on every corner?
Bring it out.
That's a curse.
That's right.
Read on.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
There was a time in history where we were cursed in the field. Yeah, what do we have to do here? Yeah, can you see this? Pick cotton, sugar cane, tobacco, you name it. We had to do it, right? Was this a blessing or was this a curse? It's a curse, right? Now, even these things are still actually going on till this day.
That's right.
In places like Mauritania, was it Libya?
That's right.
Places like that. Yemen.
Yes, sir.
Our people are still being trafficked, so we're still going through this. Jump up to verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
It says that our sons and daughters will be given to another race of people.
That's right.
Who did that happen to? Us. And guess what? It still continues to happen. Because guess what? If somebody called CPS on you, yeah, you have kids? If somebody calls CPS on you and they take your kids away, is there anything that you can really do about it? If they want to take your kids, they'll take them. And they'll put them in the system.
Right.
And guess what? They won't allow family members to adopt them or get them. But guess what? They'll allow so-called white man to come and take your kids.
That's right.
So we're still cursed today. Read on.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
So those are the things that happened to us in slavery. If you watch The Roots, if you watch 12 Years as a Slave, our children were taken from us. And there wasn't anything that we could do about it except for cry.
That's right.
We didn't have any military might,
Right.
no financial might,
Right.
economic might. We didn't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of.
right. That's
We didn't
right.
have anything.
That's right.
Right? Jump down to verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies.
So because we didn't listen and because we didn't do God's commandments, he says we shall do what?
Serve thine enemies.
Are we not serving our enemies today? Who is our enemy? Huh? Name them. White folks. You got the Arabs. You got the East Indians.
Right.
They come into our communities and they set up stores and they take the money
Bring it out.
and they send it home.
That's right.
They don't do anything to help build the community. They don't live in the community.
That's right.
Read on.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. In hunger,
Wait, who sent them against us?
the Lord shall send against thee.
The Lord sent the enemies against us because we didn't do what? Well, we didn't keep God's commandments, right? We didn't keep his commandments. So the Lord sent the enemies against us. Read.
In hunger,
So when you're hungry, you're going to have to serve your enemy. So when you're hungry, where do you go to get food? Markets. Who own those markets? Right, Arabs, right? White people. So it says that we have to serve our enemies when we're hungry. So even Little Caesars, McDonald's, Burger King,
bring it out.
KFC, Popeyes, we don't own any of those.
That's right.
So we have to serve them when we're hungry. Read.
And in thirst.
When you're thirsty, you have to get your water from them. You have to get your alcohol from them. You have to get your milk, your implement, anything you name, you got to get from your enemies.
That's right.
Read.
And in nakedness.
Even the clothes on your back, you have to get it from them. Now, you might have FUBU or something like that, but the raw textiles, like the material, the cotton and stuff, you got to get it from them.
That's right.
Read.
And in want of all things.
If you want a driver's license, if you want a passport, if you want car insurance, registration, a birth certificate, death certificate, if you want Q-tips, if you want toilet paper to wipe your behind,
Bring it out.
you got to get it from your enemy.
That's right.
Guess what? If they just decided one day, we go stop putting toilet paper in all the stores in the black communities,
Bring it out.
they can do that. If they said, you know what? Let's poison all the water in the black communities like they did Flint.
Bring it out.
Let's do that. They run everything.
That's right.
We have to serve them in want of everything. Read.
And
he, our enemy, read,
shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
it says he put a yoke of iron on our necks until he had destroyed thee. So guess what? We don't have it on now, but are we destroyed? We are destroyed as a people. So guess what? They took the yokes off.
That's right.
Read.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the one end of the earth, as swift as the eagle
He
flieth.
said, as swift as the eagle flieth. Do we have that? No, we don't. As swift as the eagle flieth. What's America's symbol? Huh? Yeah, but it's a particular animal or creature that represents America. Yep, you see it everywhere. The eagle. Yeah, read that again.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from one end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
He's telling you who the enemy is. This enemy was going to come and they would be having an eagle as their representation. Now jump down to verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So Egypt means bondage or slavery. The first time the Israelites were in Egypt, they walked in, right? But he says that we're going to go into slavery a second time, but this time it wasn't going to be from walking, it was going to be from ships. But Egypt is synonymous, or it means the same thing as bondage or slavery. So now when you read it with more understanding, read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into bondage or slavery a second time, but this time we're going to go, how?
With ships.
With ships. How did we get over here? How were we brought over here? Ships, cargo, slave ships. It's called the transatlantic slave trade. And it was also something known as the sub-Saharan slave trade that a lot of people, they don't even talk about. Read on.
By the way, whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
And Moses said, you're not going to see your homeland again as a nation of people. Now, one or two or people may travel over there, but us as a nation of people, we're not going to go back to our homelands. Right. Read.
And there ye shall be sold.
So after we got off those slave ships, what's going to happen?
Ye shall be sold.
We shall be sold. Did that not happen? How were we sold? Paint the picture for me. After we got off those slave ships, what happened? Auction blocks. If you look at this picture here, that's exactly what's happening.
That's right.
You got slaves being auctioned off. Children being taken away from their parents.
That's right.
You read it again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
No, your friends.
Your enemies.
It says that once we got off those slave ships, we will be sold to Master Charles at the Charleston plantation. Sold to Master Jones at the Jones plantation.
Bring it out.
Sold to Master Brown at Master Brown plantation.
That's right.
That's what happened to us, but it's recorded in the Bible.
That's right.
This was written over 3,000 years ago. Now, out of everything that we read, can you say that that pertains to any other nation of people? Did any of those things happen to any other race of people? So, who is it talking about? Well, that's what they're called today. But read Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1, right?
Sorry.
Let's see who Moses was talking about. Yeah, go ahead.
What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just didn't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
No, African Americans.
All Israel.
So he was talking to the Israelites.
That's right.
He wasn't talking to African Americans at that time.
Right.
It was only through slavery that we lost our identity.
Right.
Jeremiah 17 verse 4.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we almost done. Yeah, because I know we got to wrap it up.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
So it says that we would discontinue from our heritage. What does discontinue mean? Stop. So what comes with a heritage? So what you eat, how you dress, your language, your name. He said that we would discontinue from knowing anything about who we were.
That's right.
And they did a good job of it, right? Because we got people thinking that Jesus Christ, who is an Israelite, looks like this.
Figure it out.
People think that this is Christ.
Right.
But it's not.
That's right.
So the same people which the Bible called our enemies, he made it to where we discontinued from our heritage.
That's right.
Now, how do we get out from under these conditions? Deuteronomy 30.
Yes, sir.
So there is a way out, but it's not through voting. It's not through marching. It's not through begging a so-called white man to give us reparations. It's not going to happen. But this is how we do it. Read on.
Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 1.
Yep.
And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse.
So at one point in time, before the curses happened, we were blessed. We were blessed under King David and King Solomon for a total of 80 years.
That's right.
We were blessed. We ran the earth during
right.
that time.
That's right.
That's something that they don't want black people to know about.
Right.
They don't want black people to know that during the Dark Ages, we ruled as well.
Right.
Europe, Scotland, Ireland,
That's
all
right.
those places, Russia, we ruled.
That's right.
They don't want you to know that. Why? Because they don't want you to know how great you truly
That's right.
are.
Bring it out.
Do you know that we have the blood of Christ running through our veins?
Teach.
But as long as they keep us in sin, keep us being baby mamas,
Right.
keep us dressing out of order,
Right.
keep us eating the wrong food, they can continue to rule over us.
That's right.
Read.
Which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord God hath driven thee.
So, no matter where we're scattered to, he says that he's going to make sure that we know who we are and what we have to do to get from under these curses. Read.
And shall return unto the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice.
So, sis, are you ready to return to the Lord? Are you ready to obey his voice? You understand now that this is talking about you. The Bible is your book, your history book.
Right.
Are you ready to return to the Lord? We'll see. Read.
According to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thine soul.
So we have to return. You and your children, we have to return to the Lord. Read.
That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee.
So when we come back to keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, then he's going to change our condition. But until then, we're going to remain on the bottom. Read.
And will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee.
So once we change, he's going to gather us together. Because guess what? Those slave ships went all over.
That's right.
All over. He says that he's going to gather his people up and he is going to return us to where we were. Read. Is it more now?
That's it.
Okay. So we have to keep the commandments. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 5, and that's the last scripture.
Sir.
So you said that you're ready. All right. This is the first step and one of the most easiest steps. Read what you got.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
What's a man's garment? What are garments that belong to men? Huh? Underclothes? Yep, is that it? Huh? Okay. What are women's clothes? You said tight-fitted dresses and skirts. Tight-fitted dresses and skirts. Okay. Now, think about it like this. How will we look like, or what will we look like if we had on dresses out here? Clowns, right? So we understand that pants are for men, right? So are pants for women? Think about this. Our sisters were picking cotton in dresses. Pants is actually a new thing. It didn't come around until like the early 1900s. I'm pretty sure you might have grandmother, great-grandmother who only wore dresses. But guess what? Do you know clothes are spiritual?
That's right.
Think about it like this. When you see a man and he has on a dress, how does he act?
That's right.
Right. He acts like a woman, right? He acts like a woman.
That's right.
So when a woman has on pants, how do you think she acts? masculine, right? It puts a masculine spirit upon our sisters. And that's why a lot of men can't deal with the masculinity of the sister runs the man out of the home.
That's right.
And then she'll say she wears the pants. But God says, read it again.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
This is a commandment. He says that the woman isn't supposed to wear what belongs to a man. Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
And neither is a man supposed to wear what belongs to a woman. Dresses, skirts, high heels, anything that pertains to a woman, a man is not supposed to wear.
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is